This is season, I'm not sure. Episode, I have no idea. Welcome back to the I Digress podcast. I have been gone, I admit, for entirely too long. However, life has been lifing. Well, life is always gonna life, but that's neither here nor there. And then just to start, the official appointment setting book. My books are officially back open. I've been doing like, hey, just message me or just text me if you want a coaching session. But I realize I have to get serious. And yeah, I gotta use my bookends. I gotta use my booking app. Like, I pay for this shit, so I need to use it. So I decided to come back, and actually I wanted to start this, whatever season this is, I wanted to start it off with, because I love debunking a myth. I just love it. Talking about Mercury retrograde and the fear-mongering nonsense that I've been seeing for years. It's annoying because the Mercury retrograde is such a beneficial time period to actually get your life together. Whenever I know Mercury retrograde is coming, I prepare myself for like the technological issues, the traffic, things just not wanting to work. I prepare myself for the fact that my day is more than likely probably going to piss me off in the most minute way, but I'm prepared for it. But I actually look forward to Mercury retrogrades because that's literally a time where you can reassess everything that you've been doing for the last 2-3 months. So it's I want to say it's a bittersweet moment. But when it's sweet, it's really sweet because it's the insights that come in when you take the time to really appreciate the benefits of it. So for anyone that doesn't know, Mercury is a planet within our star system that we're a part of. It is a pretty decently fast-moving planet. It's not as fast as the moon, we would say. The moon the moon gets it done within a few days. Mercury needs about do not bash me because I don't know the day to the minute to the, I don't know. No, I do know. It's 88 days. I'll come back to that. I have it written down. But Mercury will move through each astrological sign. Typically, it's like less than 30 days. It's like 20-something days. It don't take long. Mercury gets its message across and it be bouncing. Except when it's in retrograde. So when it's in retrograde, it may ingress between two different signs, like go back and forth between two different signs. But it does the job. For anyone familiar with Mercury retrograde time frames, you know it does the job. And it be beating people up. People be late to work. People be late to every fucking thing. Everything. Nothing be going right. The technology does what it wants. So Mercury, though, is, and I'll take it in astrological terms, it is the planet where there's a lot of knowledge that sits there, much like Jupiter. I mean, all the planets hold knowledge, but Mercury within itself wants to get all of it, and it wants to get as much as it can. And it doesn't take long for Mercury to actually, I would say, intake the information, process it to get an understanding, and then move on to the next bit. Which obviously it makes sense that Mercury rules over Virgo and Gemini. Because if those two signs, even though one is air and one is earth, they are still very intricate as far as with pulling details to gain insight. And they just kind of use it in different ways, but you get the gist. Which I always find it ironic when Geminis don't like Virgos and Virgos don't like Geminis. I just find it very ironic because it's like y'all are literally ruled by the same fucking planet. You don't like yourself? I don't know. You should check that though. You should figure out why as a Gemini you really don't like Virgos, and see where you have similarities in Virgo. Figure out where you don't like Gemini. Look at those similarities as to why you don't like them. So I have been eyeing my notes because I have been accumulating these notes within my own experience for years. But when I knew that I wanted to do this particular podcast about debunking the myths of Mercury retrograde, like I was like, no, I need my notes to be on point, because one thing about, and I'm a Virgo rising, so one thing about me, it has to be organized anyway, but I wanted to make sure that I touched on the very important things that we should pay attention to during Mercury retrograde. I really don't like it when people fearmonger it, because it's stopping people from really assessing what this time period is for and how it can help you. So one thing I'm all about is not necessarily looking at the negatives all the time. Negatives exist. It's just how life is. It's the balance, good, bad, evil, angelic, whatever. But I wanted to really bring people's attention back to the benefits of it, because I feel like we've strayed so far away. A lot of people are, I would say, taking astrology a little bit more seriously nowadays. Whereas when I started studying astrology when I was like 11, 12 years old, the things I would hear, and it's just like, it's not really about you believing it, because the shit's happening to you anyway. So the one thing I wanted to touch on first and foremost, and I'm trying to figure out how to word this in a way. Okay. So, during Mercury retrograde periods, everybody fearmongers the fact that X is coming back. Be careful, the X, they're coming. And one thing that stuck out a lot during my little mini sit down with the mercurial energy before I even hit record, one thing that came up very significant with every message was be mindful of your social circles. Be mindful of the people. And again, I do connect a lot of the pieces to astrology so people can really see the connections. So with Gemini, it is the sign of social, just not Aquarius social, not Libra social. A Gemini will literally talk to any fucking body. Just to talk. It's not all of you that do it, but it's a good chunk of you. Or if you're not that type of Gemini that would do that every so often, you get into those moods where you just want to talk just to talk. And you're going to pinpoint that person in a crowd that you know is going to talk back because you want conversation. You like it. But I want to touch on that because we have to be mindful of the people that we're talking to every day. We have to be mindful of the people that we surround ourselves with every day. Now, if you're someone like me that goes in and out of hermit mode all the damn time, for me, it's more so who I'm talking to every day and not so much who I hang out with. But like I said, just more so who I'm talking to every day. That's what I have to be mindful of. But if you're a social butterfly, you're going to have to look at the people you talk to every day, but then the people you're physically with every day. It's important because I do not like this phrase for multiple reasons. However, for the sake of this message, it fits. Birds of the same feather flock together. And it's true. When you're interacting with the same people every day, where are their, see, my throat chakra's fucking up. Where are their thoughts? Where does their mind go? Because a lot of the time, wherever your mind is going, these are the things that you're more than likely going to subconsciously and consciously discuss with others on a daily basis. I also want to touch on the third house and the second house. Now, third house, second house. So third house, it's not particularly connected to Gemini per se, but it is what a lot of people would call a Geminian house. Virgo is sixth house, and again, it is not sixth house, but there are correlations there. So Virgo in houses, sixth house, are your daily habits, right? These are the things that you're doing every day. The third house is the people and your environment that you're around and you're engulfed in and you're enveloped in every single day. It's like yes, sixth house are your daily routines, but it's like your third house is the environment that you're in to actually make sure those sixth house routines, like how they're getting done. And what is coming out of those environments to get those daily things done. So you see the pattern is that these are everyday things. Everyday discussions, everyday routes to work, everyday routes to your child's school, everyday routes when you're walking your dog. That's Gemini, that's third house. Listen, think about it. Who are you talking to every day? What are they talking to you about every day? I don't even have to throw examples because I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. If someone is going to speak with you about the most negative, mundane, no sustenance shit all the time, I am going to assume, as most will, that you are on that same page as them, you are on that same frequency, which is why you're friends with them or in a relationship with them. I mean, this counts for family too, because, yeah, family is family, but family ain't family, if you know what I mean. So if you're constantly around someone that's going to be negative, there's nothing positive coming out of their mouth, things seem one-sided, they can see the errors in others, but they cannot see the errors in themselves. There's constantly a blame, whether they're blaming other people or blaming you, but you get the gist. I'm spending time on this because I don't think people realize how important it is to vet the people that you talk to and you surround yourself with every day. And even though, let's just say you have a family member, you guys are close, thick as thieves, but one thing you're noticing is that they're always in the negative about things. Everything is negative. What is making you think that your subconscious isn't digesting what it is that they're saying and living it out consciously? You really have to assess that. Because is it elevating you or keeping you stuck? I also want to touch on, I'm going to say, the false positivity people too. Are you surrounding yourself by people where the false positivity, there's no reality in anything that they're saying? Everything is love, it's light, it's optimism, I'm optimistic. Too much of that is detrimental because that means that you're not grounded in what it is you have to do, the steps that you need to take within yourself in order to reflect that outwards. Where are you trying to go in your life? That's the question. And do the people that you surround yourself with and talk to every day, do they support that? Or are they showing you the complete opposite of that by their words and their actions? So I really wanted to touch base on that because we have to be mindful. And Mercury is saying you have to be mindful of who you are surrounding yourself with, who is in your bubble, who is sitting in your aura with you. You know that your aura is affected by another's. Now, it may not be a big effect, but it does create a slight change. We just got to be mindful of that. Who are we surrounding ourselves with? And I don't want to say what can they do for you, but shit, what can they do for you? What are you doing for them, and what are they doing for you? Relationships are supposed to be reciprocal, and nobody wants to hear this, but relationships are supposed to be tit for tat and tat for tit, meaning there is an exchange. There is a giving and a receiving. And in this exchange, what's going back and forth? What are you bouncing back and forth between each other? Got to think about that. Now, the reason why, just to get back to why I really see the benefits of it, just to get back to that period with Mercury retrograde, it allows for you to see things clearly. It puts everything smack dab in front of your face. And I think the reason why people fearmonger Mercury retrograde is because they do not like what they see. To be honest, to be frank, they don't like what they see. Try not to laugh because I'm thinking of examples of myself when I've been through those Mercury retrograde phases, and everything that fell into my line of sight during that transit, I was like, what the fuck is this? And then just not even realizing at first, yeah, this is what you created. Unfortunately, it's what you created. It is. And here I am sitting with that for a slight second because it can be very heavy. It can be very heavy. You can be disgusted by what you see, aggravated, irritated, sad. But what it does is it places everything in front of your face. So that way you cannot ignore it. One thing, and I'm going to touch on characters within movies, comic books, TV shows, because there are characters that are in our face on the TV screen that embody mercurial energy. Now, I don't know how old a lot of you will be listening or watching this, but I don't know if anyone remembers the animated movie Hercules and Hermes, the one where he had the wings on his feet, and he was able to fly. He was depicted as more of a smaller character as far as a godlike figure. And I've noticed that too when it comes to the Hercules. You know, they had their animated TV show series. Whenever they would show Hermes, they made him smaller than the rest of the gods, but he was more agile, if that makes sense. And even with him having the wings, it just gave him better agility. But that's the thing about Mercury. Mercury is about mental agility, being able to maneuver and cut through very quickly and for the waves of information, the circuits of information. And so what will happen is with Mercury retrograde, it will dump everything right at your feet and say, well, here you go. This is what you've created thus far. So you have to address what's here. Now, addressing it and fixing it are two different things, but you have to address what's here. So it does give you that time frame to look at what you've tolerated and created. I will also go as far as to say manipulated up until this point within your life. So it wants to give you the information that you need. So that way, if there's anything there that you want to fix or correct or remove or even add in, what Mercury wants to do is just present to you, hey, this is what it is that you have in front of you. And I want to give you the information very quickly so that way you can solve it. Or you can put some structure to it. Or you can place it where it needs to be placed. Does it need to be away from me? Do I need to distance myself? Do I need to pull this thing in closer? And I mean in terms of people, information, your environments that you're in, your job. Because I noticed that being as though within this society, working an 8-hour job takes up so much of people's life force energy. We spend so much time at work. And so I do find typically that when it comes to working or a job or a career, that Mercury retrograde will also show you, hey, this is what you've gotten up until this point with this job, with this career, with this business. Do you like what it is that you see? Do you think there are things that can be corrected? Or do you feel like there are little tweaks, small, tiny tweaks that you can make? Nothing bad, but it can make one big difference. So Mercury retrograde really wants to give you that time to really assess what the hell is going on around you. One thing about Mercury as well, again, because he's so agile, and the reason why the information can be taken in so quickly is because the time within himself tends to slow down. I want to also direct our attention to, oh man, there's so many. The Flash, Kid Flash, how many other Flashes? Because when I think about their names, I'm thinking I embody all of them into the Flash. You know what, for the sake of the video, we'll just say the Flash. But the comic books, time to him is moving very slow. But on the outside of his little bubble, time is still moving in accordance to everyone else. So it's this pocket in time where it's allowing for you to slow down. Everything else is doing whatever it needs to do, but it's allowing for you to slow down in this little pocket and to observe what it is that needs to be addressed. Like I said, fixed, corrected, tweaked. I do tend to find that with retrogrades in accordance to my business, what it'll do is present to me different ways on how to do things. Okay, you don't necessarily have to record with this type of setting. Try this setting. It may work out a little bit better for you. You don't necessarily have to record during the day. You can record at night. Just try it. See how that goes. Like right now, it's nighttime. And so, which I'm comfortable in the night. Love the night. But I've decided, okay, during this time frame, it's okay if the only time that I get is to record at night. In the beginning, that really wasn't my goal. I wanted to be outside. I wanted to be in nature. I wanted natural sunlight. When I kept trying to push doing that, no matter where I went, no matter how I planned it, it would not turn out right. It would be dogs everywhere barking like crazy. Mosquitoes would be attacking me. Flies. People would be walking by, very obnoxious on the phone. They will literally stand within my vicinity and they see I'm recording and they will have a full-blown conversation on the phone. And I am the type of person where I will not hesitate to cuss somebody out because, sir, ma'am, you see what the fuck I'm doing. and ain't nobody was outside. When I sat down, I am in the corner by myself. I am not in the middle of anything. And you decided to come right here and talk on the phone. But I digress. I've had to come to grips with that. Like, hey, maybe you're just not in that type of environment where you can record outside. No matter where you cubby yourself to, it's just not. But I tried recording in different settings, different areas, and I've accepted the fact that it's okay if you have to record at night. You cannot record in the beauty of the nature. You just can't. It's fine. It's just not for you right now. Maybe when I get my own house with a backyard, then. But it's meant to be an insightful period. And it's just meant to open your eyes to different things, because that's really Mercury. That's all Mercury wants to do. It just wants to dibble and dabble in every single fucking thing. And what is it? I can never remember this whole quote. Something about the jack of all trades, the master of none, or the whatever. I feel like whenever people talk about the beginning part of that quote, y'all be trying to play people that have multiple interests. And I don't like that. When I finally ended up looking up the full phrase, I think the ending part was like, it's just better to know something rather than nothing, is pretty much the summary of it. But listen, just try things, dibble, dabble. And the thing is, with Mercury, it wants you to have that type of freedom where you can choose for yourself. But Mercury also wants to let you know there are options. And you can pick and choose. You can try things out. It's okay to try. I do feel like, oh my God, my cat is about to cough up a hairball. He's doing it quietly though. Maybe until it all comes out. Oh God. All right. Oh, disgusting. He is doing it quiet. He's usually loud as fuck when he does. Finn is usually loud as hell when he's coughing up a hairball. Don't look at he looked at me mad crazy like, bitch. I'm sorry, Finn. I appreciate you for being quiet because you didn't have to do that. I'll clean it up. Leave it alone, soul. It's a hairball. Leave it alone. I appreciate you, Vin, because you did not have to be quiet. But yeah, so it's just this pocket in time to see what's going on in front of you and just trying different things to get it right, to get it back on track. Just so you can just have a clear view of what it is you're doing and where you're going, or what it is you're going to do with that person and where that relationship is going, what it is you're going to do with that career and where that career is going, where that job is going. But you get the gist. And too, I do feel as though when you're adjusting your perspective, looking at things in a way that you're not accustomed to doing, it's very unsettling. It's very uncomfortable. It can be very anxiety ridden if you're a person that does struggle with anxiety, especially with obsessive thoughts. That Mercury retrograde can be that period where you're like, okay, the fucking walls are caving in. I walked through the door, forgot my keys in the fucking door, my fucking pocket to my damn jacket hooked onto the doorknob as I was walking in. And then when I finally realized, oh shit, my keys are in the damn door still, I done hooked my pocket to the thing and it swung me back into that bitch. I hit my head. By the time I cleared all that up, I turned around, tripped over something, then fell on my... That's Mercury retrograde in summary. But really all it's telling you is, hey, slow down, pay attention. You just left your keys in the door. That's all it is. But it's saying it sometimes in a very rough way. But you left your keys in the door. Like, slow down, chill. Just, you unlock the door, just grab your keys. Grab your keys. Don't leave them in the door. Why are you such in a rush to get in without grabbing your keys? Grab your keys. Okay, slow down. you know? Or, too, shit, you done hooked your pocket onto the door and that shit done swung your ass back. Are you okay? Are you paying attention to your surroundings right now? Or are you so lost in your mind that you have no, I would say, what do they call it? Spatial awareness. Like your spatial awareness is off because you're stressed or you're anxious and you're just simply not paying attention. So just slow down. Just slow down. Or, you walk through the door, you tripped over something that fell on the floor, boom, face planted, right into the ground. What happened when you were leaving out today? When you were leaving out of the house that you didn't even realize that you dropped something on the ground that could be a safety hazard? It's literally telling you in a very rough way, slow down. What's going on with you? You okay? I do feel subtly Mercury is kind of like, you good? One thing I've also noticed about Hermes in any form. Another character I want to bring up. I don't know if you guys have seen Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. Is there? If it is, I'm gonna see it. Somebody tell me. But there is the movie Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. Damn, what is Hermes' son's name? Can't remember. He was the one that stole the lightning bolt, though. One thing about his character, though, in that first movie was that he seemed to actually care and genuinely give a fuck. That's what it seemed. I mean, that's what it seemed like. I'm not trying to sit here and say that Mercury don't give a fuck. But I do believe that wasn't always meant to be his character as far as like just Hermes within itself. I do believe he cares. I do. But I also believe he can be very apathetic and knows when to separate himself. And so hence, like I said, I do feel as though that there is a part of Mercury, though, that just like they want to show you what it is so you can get it right, because it actually does care about what the fuck it is you got going on. So, it's just utilizing the time frame to actually slow down. And like, it's okay during that's another reason why I like Mercury retrograde. I can very much be a type of person to the point where my fucking nervous system gets fried, like fucked up, and it does allow me to slow the fuck down. And I personally can feel the energy shift when Mercury, like when I tell you, like I'll text my best friend and I'm like, I haven't checked the transits yet, but I feel like Mercury retrograde is coming, because things do seem a little bit slower to me. And then it will be in the way that crazy shit would be happening, and then it'll keep happening, and it'll be in a frequency it's just too damn high. The frequency of it's like every other hour, every day, some bullshit. And I'm like, Mercury retrograde gotta be coming. It has to be coming. But there is this period, though, where I can feel the energy slow down. Water break. I didn't tell y'all to get y'all waters like I usually do. And to get comfortable. I was comfortable. Listen, I got my little sheet because it's hot. I just moved. And I don't know if y'all can hear the echo. My place is empty, okay? I didn't even get to move everything in. 'Tis life. Taking it a day at a time. But it's empty in here, so there's like an echo. But man, I didn't even think to like tell, but grab y'all drinks. Because after I'm done recording, I'm gonna go to my kitchen, make me some lavender and honey tea, squeeze a little lemon in there, and I'm finna knock out. I am tired. And honestly, if I could describe what this the retrograde phases for Mercury feel like to me, it feels like I'm in this like time stream vortex. Look, for anyone that watches anything freaking DC related, you understand, like, one thing that you will always see flash in the middle of is a fucking vortex of some kind, or like a tornado. Like, he's in some circular structure and the winds are moving and shit's spinning. I love DC and Marvel. I really do. So I will make a lot of references to that. But you always see the Flash like in these little vortexes, and like things are happening and he's having full-blown conversations with himself. Meanwhile, everyone's on the outside like, oh my God. The Flash. I love his character. He's like one of my favorite superheroes. But it really, that's the best way that I can picture. It's like Mercury is putting you in your own vortex, and while everything is spinning so quickly, you're in the middle of it, you're like in the eye of it, and you're able to observe and then tweak, you know? And another thing too, so like I said, Mercury is more so about just gathering information from just bits of it from everywhere. Just pulling it, not for no reason, because opposite of Gemini is Sagittarius, but that's another podcast episode for another day. But they're pulling information out of the ethers. They're pulling it from the conversations they're having with people. They're pulling it from observations. You can pull information from observations. You can pull information from objects. So just pulling. And it's like creating a mental bridge to an answer that you were seeking or didn't even realize that you needed to until that retrograde phase came. And you're like, holy shit. All right, let me observe what is going on. My back is killing me, and I've been holding this in, but my back is killing me. And I keep hunching over because I feel like a lot of us millennials deal with that, being one of the first generations to have a cell phone, but like, damn, my back is killing me. Okay, but anyways. Whew, that actually hurt. Hold on. Like, but if you're not already Mercurial ruled or have any Gemini or Virgo in your chart, or even like air in your chart at all. So like, say if you have very low influence of air, so no Libra, no Aquarius, the only thing you have it in is within whatever's in your rising and whatever house, but you may not have any planets that are in a sign that's an air sign. So it's like, in order to gather and pull together information, it may not come as easily, or maybe you're not as open. This is what can happen when you have like a lack of air in your chart, or even Virgo, I'd say, that it's hard for you to pull information, and you can or may be either very stubborn or very flighty as far as what you're doing in your life. But again, this phase, no matter if you have air or Gemini or Virgo or whatever in your chart, it just allows you to look at things in a way that more than likely does not come natural to you. And which is a good thing, because we need variety in our lives. Just in general, we need variety. It helps to expand and broaden your view of people and the world. So it just gives you that pocket of time to really sit down and assess. It's even though it's a tumultuous time, one thing that I just heard headaches. So there may be some of you that during this period, the information is just too much. Your nervous system is riled the fuck up. Shit is happening way too, like, bad shit, just back to back, is too much for you. You probably got a headache right now. Drink some water. Do not take no goddamn pills. Drink the damn water. Drink the water first. Then, After drinking the water, if it still doesn't subside, take the pill. And I'm saying this because a lot of people will go straight for the drug and not even assess the basis of you really may just be dehydrated and you're having a dehydration headache. I just wanted to say that, but I heard headache just now. Now, one thing too about the benefit of this is that, again, because remember I said the information is coming to you in a way for you to address it quickly. It's within 30 days, you like, wait a minute now. I done jumped portals here with the information that I just got, you know? So it allows you to jump through portals. If you change your mind, it can be that one small minute, to you it may be minute, that one small thought that creates a really big change in your life. That one small way of thinking, and you tweaked it just a little bit. You may find yourself in a new phase of your life just because you did that. Everything is mental. We all create our realities based off of what we're thinking and our patterns of thought. So remember when I said tracing back, you left your keys in the doorknob done grabbed onto your pocket hoodie and pulled you into that bitch. You done knocked your head in there. Then you tripped and you fell because you know, remember that? That whole, just you assessing the fact that, you know what, I did not wake up in the best mood that day. I didn't, you know, and, you know, when I was getting dressed, I just was dreading going to wherever I needed to go. I didn't even want to leave. I wanted to stay home, but I had to go. And my mind was just not in the best place when I left the house that day. That one realization will bring your attention to how you wake up in the morning. That alone, how you wake up in the morning, sets the tone. And if you're waking up daily, setting your tone on a positive foot, that will change your whole trajectory of your life moving forward. All because you were very cognizant and intentional about how you woke up because of literally what happened to you during that retrograde phase, where you done knocked yourself into the door and to the ground within 2 seconds of each other. That little thing, you know? And so I do believe that Mercury does allow you to see the bridge of where you can make that change and to go across it. It'll change your whole reality. I swear. I go through these Mercury retrograde periods, eyes wide open. I'm ready to take notes. There are times where Mercury is like, bitch, I told you. And I'm like, you did. You did. You told me this last retrograde. You did. You did. I'm going to listen now. I'm going to listen now. And it changed my life, you know? But it really does create that bridge for you to step into another timeline, step through a portal, and just look at things from the past like, I really didn't have to make that as difficult as I did. I didn't have to do that, but I did it. And I was on struggle bus city until you recognize, like, oh shit, it's putting it in front of my face. I see now. I can see it. And another benefit about this time frame, because everything is happening so quickly, it allows for you to close chapters very quickly too. So imagine you in one place right before the retrograde starts, and then you're in a completely different place by the time it ends. And like I said, it can retrograde for a good period of about, is it like a little over, it's like 30 something days almost, that it's transiting through, and then it retrogrades back. Because like I said, sometimes it can switch between different signs depending on the degree of the sign that it went into retrograde. I know that's advanced talk if you don't understand astrology, but for people that do, you know what I mean. trying to think how long, because isn't it like a good almost 40 days that it can be in retrograde? Gotta look these things up, man. I be writing this stuff down, but it's like, it's not in these notes. I have completely separate notes for anything astrology related, but yeah. What else did I write down? Oh, I also had wrote down that there is knowledge within the water as well. Water holds memory. And there's a lot of things that you can gain insight on just by simply being underwater or in the bath or standing directly under the shower head or soaking in the tub. Another thing I wanted to bring up about Mercury energy in general is that Mercury is the one that can go and jump from and has permission to, from the universe, to go from portal to portal to portal to portal. It's kind of like its gift. So you know how, again, I'm referring back to Hercules here, the animated. Hermes is allowed to go from Olympia, which is all the way up into the heavens. He's allowed to go down to the mortal realm, which is our realm, 3D, the earth. He's able to do that because that is a portal between the heavens and the earth. He's also able to go down into the depths, which I guess they would call hell in that movie, with Hades or whatever. But he is the one and only God that is able to traverse through each and every single portal and dimension. That is crazy if you think about it. Other gods and other beings cannot necessarily traverse through each dimension without them having to pay or do something in order to traverse. There are other beings that can, but we're just referencing in terms of the gods that we would say they're in the heavens, you know? Or it'll be where, okay, you know what? You can go down to earth, but if you go down, you're going to have to stay there for X amount of time. Now, I know everyone wants to believe that because gods are gods, they can do whatever the hell they want. That is not true. That's not true. They all have limitations and restrictions as to what it is they can do based upon the gifts and powers that they have. And I'm not saying just Greek gods. The reason why I'm using Hermes in this example a lot is because I feel like we're all familiar with who he is. I'm trying to think of who else. Namor in Wakanda Forever. He's known as the feathered spirit serpent god. It's no coincidence that he also has wings on his feet, like Hermes has on his feet. That is representative of being able to go from dimension to dimension to dimension freely. Water is its own dimension. It is its own portal. So the ocean, the seas, the rivers, all of that, they all have their own dimension and portal in association with them. No coincidence that in Wakanda Forever, Namor was able to breathe on land and underwater. But you see how out of his people, he is the only one that can do that. The rest of them need masks with water in them in order for them to be on the surface world. This is the gift of mercurial energy. And so a lot of the times, the information that you're going to get in terms of what's coming up during that retrograde phase, you're getting information from different dimensions and different parts of yourself that you typically and normally will not have easy access to. It's a gift right there, if you ask me. I don't think that's a downside. I don't see there's a reason to fearmonger. Unless you just can't handle the information that's coming to you. It's neither here nor there. Who else? Now, you know how I'm going to go back in reference to, as far as like the Flash, how for him, it's portal jumping, but he is timeline jumping. He can go from timeline to timeline to timeline to timeline and see how each and every single timeline is different, which I admire. This is why I said I love the Flash. But he is able to observe what's going on and see the slight and subtle differences in each one. Now, his dumbass ain't learned his lesson for a while, but he was doing shit he wasn't supposed to be doing in them things. He was only supposed to be observing and not interrupting. But, I mean, eventually learned a goddamn lesson. Fuck shit up a couple times. Oh my God, this cat hair. But, it's just a time frame for you to act as the wise Mercury would. You observe what is going on in this phase. Be curious, and be curious about what it is you're seeing. Ask yourself questions. Ask questions. Talk aloud. Journal, audio journal about what it is you're seeing that's happening. Or is there a pattern? Because one thing Mercury will also point out, Virgo will be quick to point out a pattern because this is what they're really good at. They're really good at pinpointing patterns. Are there any patterns? One thing about Mercury energy as well, Mercury energy is very patient. Very patient. Because in order for you to be observer, you have to be patient because you're observing to see what comes about and what patterns are replicating itself, right? You have to know and have that wisdom to be able to tell yourself, okay, I need to slow down. I have to slow down in order for me to really grasp what it is that's going on. And you know, it's really sucks, honestly, as far as the spiritual community and how it's turned and where it's gone. And I'm not saying that it's all gone to shit. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, because it's grown in popularity, there are a lot of things about these different aspects of our universe that have been twisted. Leave it alone, Finn. No. Leave it alone. It's fine. I'm going to pick it up. Finn is trying to clean up. I'm going to get it. He's trying to clean up the hairball. But, it's a time for you to clean up your shit. I ain't say it. Finn said it. I just relayed the message. But you know, again, it's your mind. It's you taking the time out to just observe and using the energy mentally very wisely. It's okay, Finn. I'm going to get it. Just using it very wisely. And you know, honestly, that's pretty much a good chunk of my notes. I'm good on time. We're doing better at this. Another thing I wanted to mention, music also stores information as well as memories. But music also has information in it as well. And so I know that there's the collective that I'm talking to. Music holds importance to everyone, yes. But I have a really good feeling that the collective that I'm talking to, you guys listen to music a little bit differently. And a lot of you guys understand that there are messages for you sometimes in the music that pops up. And so I want to have you guys draw your attention to that. And then also just, what type of music are you listening to? And are you conscious, especially like me? I'm a rap bitch. I love me some rap. Okay? I just do. I know when people look at me, they're like, that's what you listen to? And I'm like, Rob 49. But no, I really do love his music though. Okay, because the way that he be flowing, for God, the way he be flowing, it just chef's kiss. But I'm also cognizant of the fact that a lot of the shit I be listening to is trash. And it promotes a lower vibration, but you have to be cognizant of that. Be cognizant. Be cognizant. I just wanted to throw that in there. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I wanted to say. Like I said, a lot of the messages that I was getting was really about, listen, you guys do need to pay attention to your social circle. You may love and care for someone, but I hate to say this because it breaks my heart with just the reality of it. Just because you love and care for someone does not mean that where they're at is good for you in terms of where you're going. And sometimes you need a break. And will that break be permanent? Probably. It might. And accepting that reality may be very hard in the moment when you're realizing I have to separate myself from you because this is some bullshit. But like I said, it even though we may not like it, we have to pay attention to the people that we're surrounding ourselves with every day. And I do want to end it off at that. So again, my booking site is finally up and open again and running. I will be taking my bookings there. And yeah, I would say that's it. So I'm gonna go make my lavender tea with my little sprinkle of lemon juice and honey. I may actually record another video. I feel like I'm on a roll. But yeah, I hope you guys really benefited from this. Like I said, my goal was to get people to look at Mercury retrograde differently. There's no reason to be scared. None whatsoever. So bye.